Thank you for joining us on Diaspora Connect, where we champion excellence by spotlighting the resilience of Nigerian citizens, breaking barriers, and making a difference across the world. We explore identity, origin, and diverse journeys of Nigerians in the diaspora. I am Abosidi Adeniwadremi. Let's begin the show with Diaspora News. Nigeria's House of Representatives says it is committed to closer collaboration with Nigerians in the diaspora, describing them as crucial actors in the nation's development efforts. Its Committee on Diaspora launched the NIDRES application and website in its quest to address diaspora communication challenges.
The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, says over 17 million Nigerians are overseas. Nigerians in the diaspora continue to contribute to the nation's economy through economic, human capital, and socio-cultural channels, including sending billions of naira in remittances. It is in solving these critical challenges that the House, in its wisdom, launches the NIDRES application and website. The Speaker, Abbas Tajuddin, here represented, says the 10th House considers diaspora engagement as a national priority, one that must translate into structured policies that strengthen the nation's democracy and national unity.
The theme of this engagement aligns with the legislative agenda of the 10th House of Representatives, particularly its focus on inclusion, accountability, and economic reform.
The initiative is woven around policies, institutions, and technology to create a unified approach to diaspora governance, just as it hopes to align laws, government actions, and state-level efforts for better coordination on diaspora matters.
The initiative is all about bringing together policies, institutions, and technology to create a unified approach to diaspora governance. And here is what we hope to achieve: aligning laws, government actions, and state-level efforts for better coordination on diaspora matters, easier access to consular help, emergency aid, and welfare services for Nigerians living abroad.
NIDCOM appreciates the synergy between it and the House of Representatives, saying regular conversations will deepen diaspora engagement. It is confident that Nigerians outside the country and their contributions can no longer be ignored. The Commission has now opened a data portal which will make diaspora voting easier.
We have these conversations. How do we deepen governance of the diaspora? How do we engage the diaspora further? We expect all stakeholders to be part of this. Next year, we'll be reviewing the diaspora policy, and we're hoping that whatever comes out of here will guide us in reviewing the policy next year.
The forum serves as a good avenue for leading players to make meaningful suggestions on diaspora voting, legislative and executive partnership, among others. Joke Yadsa, TVC News, Abuja.
What Diaspora Connect does is to connect you to your roots. Let's check out these fun facts on our Did You Know segment. Some really amazing facts there. Now to our focus today, reconnecting to the roots through DNA. My guest is Prince John James Olomo. He is a U.S.-based Nigerian heritage entrepreneur and founder of Tribal Tapestry Heritage Services, LLC, a platform using DNA and genealogy to reconnect the African diaspora with their ancestral tribes across Africa. He is Prince of Shasha Kingdom and of the Shenlu Royal House of Imota in Ikorodu, Lagos, as well as Bashitu Ekpadabosile of Ikorodu Kingdom. Now, through these traditional roles, he works closely with royal institutions to turn cultural heritage into soft power and economic opportunity. He joins us as we explore how Africa, and particularly Nigeria, can use its heritage, diaspora, and identity to strengthen its global influence. Prince Olomo, good to have you join us on the program.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Good morning, and thank you for having me today.
You will agree that not too many people bear the title of heritage entrepreneur. So tell us the story. How did you choose this? Did you stumble into it, or is it a case of the field choosing you?
I think it's all of the above. For me, I was actually born in the U.S., in the United States, and I traced my roots through DNA and genealogy for about 9 years to determine my tribe, which is I'm a Yoruba man of Southwest Nigeria. And after I discovered my tribe, I went further and found my family and learned that I descend from Ikorodu. And that's my story. And so I picked up royal titles through initiations along the way. But it's been an exciting journey, and it has inspired my life's work so that other African Americans and others in the diaspora can do the same thing, but instead of taking a decade, they can do it in a matter of 2 or 3 months.
But how did you get to that point where you made a choice to trace your roots?
You know, many people growing up in the U.S., they grow up with this question mark of who am I and where do I come from? And so for me, it was a burning desire since I was really a teenager to one day trace my roots to Africa and learn where I come from. You know, we say that knowledge is power, but what I've actually learned is that when you actually touch the source of your origin, that's when you activate that power and you transform into something greater.
All right. And we know, just like you mentioned, you hold quite a number of Yoruba titles. You've become what the Yorubas would call, and is it Omunile or Munile? You know, so, but how exactly does that influence your work out there?
It influences my work completely. When I initially traced my roots, I landed in Shasha Kingdom in Alimosho, Lagos, Nigeria. And after going through several Yoruba rites of passage and initiations, they titled me there as Prince of Shasha Kingdom. But my bloodline actually flows through Ikorodu. I descend from the Olomo bloodline, and Mosene is the father of the Olomos. And not to get too much into the cultural history there, but Mosene has big history. That's a chieftaincy family in Ikorodu. And through there, my bloodline is directly from the Shenlu Royal House of Imota.
All right. And now you run a firm that helps people discover or rediscover their roots, as it were. Tell us about that and the significance of DNA, you know, actually helping unite Africans and African Americans.
Yes, so many African Americans, they want to know what part of Africa they come from. They want to know the tribe that they come from. And what's exciting is that about half of the African American population is actually of Nigerian descent. And so that actually creates a very big opportunity for Nigeria to leverage its soft power and connect with what we sometimes call the African American tribe, for Nigeria to connect with those who were taken away. I know that there are many efforts that Nigeria makes to connect to diaspora who have decided to leave and get work abroad. That's important, That's great, but we should remember that for 400 years, people were stolen. And the children of those who were stolen now want to come back home. And so if Nigeria could open her arms and offer something like dual citizenship based on DNA, it would change things both at home on the ground in Nigeria and for African Americans abroad. And we see other countries like Sierra Leone, Ghana, and even right next door to Nigeria, Benin Republic is doing this, and they are doing it very successfully. And so this is something that would bring foreign direct investment into Nigeria. We would lend economic and political leverage from the U.S. to Nigeria, and it would make a very big difference.
All right. And how exactly is your firm, Tribal Tapestry, working to make this happen?
Yes, well, in terms of the dual citizenship, we have been asking the Nigerian government and various officials inside of the government to support a dual citizenship initiative. We do have support from the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, and so we're very grateful for that. And Dr. Abike there, we're very grateful. But we endeavor to go further with the government and have a scalable system that we are ready to implement with Nigeria so that African Americans can have citizenship based on DNA. If we look at situations right now where Nigeria is being threatened by the United States government, if Nigeria had allies in the US, and those allies should be in the form of African Americans whose roots trace to Nigeria. If Nigeria were to open its arms and make allies of those diaspora who were taken away, those diaspora, those African Americans would naturally extend political support to Nigeria the same way that Jewish Americans leverage their political support to get the US to support Israel. The same support would be there for Nigeria.
And as it stands now, I know you've spoken about the level of reception you're receiving from the NIDCOM chairperson, Abike Dabiriwa, but what more do you think has to be done to make this a reality?
Yes, so in order to make this a reality, we need something coming out of the Ministry of Interior, quite frankly. And even the Minister of Finance can help, because there are opportunities for bond programs aimed directly at the African American market, the African American diaspora. One way to look at it is like this. African Americans alone spend $2 trillion a year annually just in consumer spending, $2 trillion. That is 10 times Nigeria's GDP, which is $200 billion. So Nigeria has an economic bloc out there that is completely untapped, spending 10 times its GDP. Why not tap into 10% of that by way of a citizenship by DNA program? And so what needs to be done is something needs to come out of the Ministry of Interior. We stand ready to meet with the Ministry of Interior and get something implemented right away. We have a system we can actually plug in and implement with the government of Nigeria.
And we know that, one of the calls you're making, you've just made a submission of about a $20 million bid for asset from 23andMe. Tell us about that project.
Yes, so we made a bid for 23andMe, which is one of the largest DNA companies in the U.S. They were filing for bankruptcy, but as it turned out, they are no longer in bankruptcy, and they ended up getting rolled up right back to the initial founder. So for now, we're not in acquisition mode of the company, but we are exploring collaborating with some of their technology.
So there's a project you're pushing, $1 trillion tree. That sounds massive. Talk to us about that.
Yes, so the $1 trillion tree, as we like to call it, is a global family tree that we are creating for Africans around the world to connect. So I'll give you an example. I was able to connect with my direct bloodline in Ikorodu in Lagos, Nigeria. You asked about titles. From there, I became Basheto Ipadabosile of Ikorodu, which means the pathfinder who leads the diaspora home. And every time I tell that story to an African American, they want to go down the same path. They want to know where is their tribe and where is their family. This is why we have created the $1 trillion tree. The $1 trillion tree essentially connects every African American and every African in the world together. It shows us how we are related, if we are first, second, or third cousins, etc. And we build that digital monument of our history. And so we kicked it off from OAU University back in June, and it's continuing to grow as we speak.
So why did you choose Nigeria as a launch point for this global reconnection effort?
I love the question. The reason we chose Nigeria as the launch point is because, number one, Nigeria, most African Americans, 50% of them are estimated to actually be from Nigeria. So Nigeria is the point of origin for half of the African American population. But it's also the biggest economy in Africa. It's the beating heart of Africa. And so it just makes sense to launch it from Nigeria.
And if you were to serve as a seer, where do you see tribal tapestry and the $1 trillion tree in about 5 or 10 years?
Yes, I would say in 8 years, we see tribal tapestry and the $1 trillion tree in a position where anyone can take our DNA test and they immediately know they're African relatives. What's interesting, though, is we are finding that even African-born Africans right there on the soil, many of them want to know their roots too. And that was surprising to us. We recently helped a man in Ikorodu discover and understand that his root was actually in northern Nigeria. And so it's very interesting because even people born right there on the soil also want to know their source.
All right, Prince Salomo, I would really like to know, I know you've been in Nigeria, earlier this year you were here. I would really like to know and have a feel of what you have been able to grasp so far in your quest, to search, to trace your roots and for where you are now. So what words or what sentences can you express, what songs or anthem can you really express to show that indeed you are a son of the soil?
Well, I'm in Nigeria all the time. In fact, I was there. I just got back last week, about 4 days ago, to the U.S., and I'll be there for December as well. I can tell you I'm a true son of the soil. My favorite dish is turkey pepper soup. That is my go-to almost every night. I have to have turkey pepper soup in me, just a little bit each day in order to keep going. Yes, so that's my thing, is the food more so than, I've picked up more of the food than the language so far.
Yeah, I know that earlier you pronounced Ikorodu quite, quite clearly, like Ikorodu. You gave it the enunciation, the exact way that it should be. But I would really like you to just show some Nigerian feel. Is there a song you'd like to sing in your mother tongue? Is there maybe the Nigerian anthem or pledge, or something that you really can remember now and you would like to share with us?
Oh, you don't want to hear me sing, not even in the shower. But no, I don't do much singing. Maybe next time I'm there, I'll be back next month. Maybe I'll dance in the studios. I'll make that a promise.
All right, and then, I was checking up some information about you, and then I realized that while you were in this quest to get back to your roots, one of the first few words that you picked up on that side of your bed where you usually get inspiration is the IWA, which Yorubas would call Iwe like Iwa, and, of course, means different things in different languages. So how did that really, gear you up on this quest, really?
Before I actually discovered my tribe, I had a journal next to my bed, and I was waking up, writing down different words, and I didn't know the meaning of those words at all. In fact, when I Googled some of those words, I thought they were Igbo words, and it turned out my blood obviously is Yoruba, and those same words exist in our language as well. So the language was the beginning. I do pick up on Nigeria and the intonation better when I'm actually there on the soil. And then when I come back here, it starts to fade a little bit. So I'm happy to hear you say that I at least pronounce my hometown properly, Ikorodu. But again, though, even in Ikorodu, we actually trace back to Imota from the Shenlu Royal House in Imota. So yes, my goal for 2026 is that by the end of that year, I'm fluent or at least completely conversational.
Don't worry, Prince Solomon. We could always arrange, some language classes, and then we dust this off, and the world knows that Prince John James Solomon is a true son of the soil. Omo Yoruba, Pambele. Okay, that might sound a bit hard, but it's what it is really. I must sincerely appreciate you for your time on the show today. Prince John James Solomon, Adupe Gidigonisa.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I will take you up on the offer.
All right, then. All right, thank you. Well, what a conversation. Talking about how we can really trace our roots, especially using DNA. So science has made the world a lot easier. So many Nigerians out there in the diaspora who do not even know they have links to Nigeria. Now is the time. This is the opportunity. Make the most of it. Next on the show is Culture Connects.
From Lagos to London, from Abuja to Atlanta, Nigerians exporting modern music and movies. A new generation in the diaspora is finding creative ways to monetize what they know, how they live, and what they love about home. Across major cities like London, Toronto, Houston, Nigerians are blending heritage with entrepreneurship. They are teaching languages, hosting pop-up kitchens, designing Ankara streetwear, and advising global brands on authentic cultural storytelling. This cultural economy is not just about profit, it's about preserving identity and sharing Nigeria's vibrant traditions with the world. For many, these ventures began as passion projects, teaching Yoruba, Igbo, and other languages online, organizing dance classes, or sharing recipes on social media. Today, they have become thriving businesses, powered by curiosity and a global appetite for authentic African experiences. From fashion runways to music festivals, Nigerian creativity is now part of the global conversation. Cultural entrepreneurs are not only earning, but they are redefining how the world sees Nigeria.
As we wrap up the conversation today, remember, home is home. It is where the heart is. Trace your history, make the most of it, and contribute your quota towards the development of our great nation, Nigeria. Until the next time, keep exuding the glow of a true Nigerian, the unbeatable Niger spirit. I am Abosede Adeniyi Aderemi. I'll see you again. Goodbye.